New York Jets. Shocking draft truth? Aaron Glenn may have had a different plan all along. Jets fans, something very interesting is starting to surface about the Jets' draft strategy, and it may completely change the way we look at this rebuild moving forward. Because for months, the conversation around the Jets' draft board was simple. Should New York take Arvell Reese or go with David Bailey? Most analysts believed the debate came down to upside versus safety. But now, new reports coming out around the Giants organization are hinting at something much bigger. The Jets may have never viewed Arvell Reese the same way the media did. And if that's true, then Aaron Glenn's defensive vision might already be far more advanced than people realize. Roll the intro.
But before we get into it, if you're a die-hard Jets fan, make sure you're subscribed to Jetstream News. We're your go-to source for daily engaging content on all things. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers this offseason by hitting that subscribe button.
Jets fans, welcome back to the channel. This offseason has been packed with debates about the future of this defense, and one of the biggest arguments surrounded the linebacker position and what the Jets truly valued in this draft. Now we're finally getting clues. According to reports connected to the Giants organization, their coaching staff has already started experimenting with Arvell Reese in a completely different role than many people expected. Instead of simply lining him up as a traditional edge defender, they're reportedly moving him around the defense and developing him as an inside linebacker hybrid. And honestly, that changes everything. Because if the Giants saw him this way, there's a very real possibility Aaron Glenn and the Jets saw the exact same thing. And that tells us something massive about how New York approached this draft. See, most fans looked at Arvell Reese and immediately thought, pass rusher, edge threat, Micah Parsons-type weapon. But what made Reese special wasn't just sacks. It was the speed, the range, the ability to fly sideline to sideline, the ability to erase running plays from the backside, the explosiveness in space. That's what separated him. Even on plays where he hesitated, he still recovered faster than almost everyone else on the field. That kind of athleticism is rare. And apparently, the Giants coaching staff recognized something important. If you leave him exclusively on the edge, offenses can simply run away from him. But if you place him inside, now he impacts everything. Now he can blitz through the A-gap. Now he can attack the quarterback directly up the middle. Now he can disrupt the run game from both sides of the field. Now he becomes a coverage weapon. Now offenses can't hide from him. That's a completely different level of defensive chess. And honestly, it's smart football. But here's where this gets really interesting for Jets fans. If Aaron Glenn viewed Arvell Reese the same way, then the Jets didn't just pass on an edge rusher. They passed on a linebacker prototype entirely. And that tells us the Jets may not value the inside linebacker position nearly as much as many fans believed. That's the hidden story here. Because think about it. The Jets had multiple opportunities throughout the draft to add linebacker help, not just Reese. There were other linebackers available later too, young developmental players with athletic upside. And yet New York consistently focused elsewhere. Why? Because Aaron Glenn may believe the defensive front matters more than traditional linebackers in this system. And to be fair, looking at how the Jets rebuilt the front seven this offseason, it's hard to completely argue against that logic. Still, there's another side to this conversation. The linebacker room does carry concerns moving forward. Demario Davis is aging. Jamie Sherwood still has questions surrounding consistency. And behind them, there's very little proven long-term security. That's why some fans wanted New York to invest heavily in another young linebacker during this draft. Not necessarily for 2026, but for 2027 and beyond. A developmental player, a future starter, a young enforcer waiting in the pipeline. Because championship defenses are built years ahead of schedule. The great organizations don't wait until a weakness becomes a crisis. They prepare early. That's how teams stay contenders. Now, let's be clear. This does not mean the Jets made the wrong decision. Far from it. What this really shows is that Aaron Glenn has a very specific blueprint for this defense. And whether fans agree or disagree, the Jets are finally operating with a defined identity. That matters. For years, this franchise felt directionless. Different schemes, different philosophies, different visions every season. But now, you can actually start seeing the structure. You can see what type of athletes they value. You can see how they want to build this roster. You can see the long-term defensive philosophy taking shape. And honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons analysts are starting to quietly label the Jets as a possible surprise team heading into 2026. Because when a roster finally matches the coaching vision, things can accelerate fast. The scary part? If Aaron Glenn is right, and this defensive system starts clicking, the Jets may already be laying the foundation for one of the fastest defensive turnarounds in the NFL. And if that happens, the rest of the AFC better pay attention, because New York might finally be building something real. But now, I want to hear from you, Jets fans. Did the Jets make the right call passing on Arvell Reese? Would you have preferred more linebacker help? Or do you trust Aaron Glenn's long-term vision for this defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you destroy that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because this offseason is only getting crazier from here. And as always, go Jets! Thanks for watching!